is in the know for Tuesday, September 9, the 252nd day of 2025. There are 113 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com, via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. We'll have that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay.
I ran across something this morning that might be helpful for all of us. If you get a little nervous about a meeting or something that you're about to have to do, here's a tip. Do something boring, like deleting photos from your camera or writing a grocery list or doodling. Something boring actually will cancel out anxiety.
Well, that's nice to know.
Calming the mind, calming the nerves, and
guess so.
hadn't really considered that could be effective, but it might very well be, so it could come in handy. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam. I don't hear you again, but that's okay.
Morning, Ralph.
We're sure you're doing fine. Last night was a big night. Monday Night Football. It's the first week of Monday Night Football, and Manning Cast was on last night. A lot of people staying up late to watch the ball game last night. I did see an interview this morning with Philly's dad. He was on CBS this morning, and he was asked by a news reporter about the event that happened with the Phillies Karen Friday night at the Marlins-Phillies game. And one thing we didn't mention yesterday was that he was there not just with his son, but his wife and daughter were there as well. It was the four of them. They had this beautiful family that were there in the outfield, and he went and got the ball. But he said that he said that one of the reasons that he gave the ball to her is that she was coming at him with a bunch of cuss words, and he just didn't want his son to have to endure that, so he was just trying to de-escalate the situation. But then to the thing we were talking about yesterday on how to respond to her or how she should be treated, he said he didn't want to be part of any of the blowback or getting back at her or anything, because he didn't want his son to see him acting like that or others, and so he just let it. People are going to do what they're going to do, and they're going to kind of suffer. They're going to suffer their own fate based upon how they act, etc. He, as a dad, he handled it extremely well in his interview yesterday, so pretty happy with him about that. Sunny with a week-long warming trend. We're going to see sunshine and highs in the low 70s and low 80s today. See highs in the mid to upper 80s, and back late week with increasing humidity. Sunny today, a high of 82, clear 59 tonight, rain chance of 87 tomorrow with sunny skies. Sam, I got to see your interview with Mason Parker yesterday on your Cougar Conversations. I was really impressed with him and the explanation on what he does. He's a dialogue editor for film and television. Is that right?
Correct. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
Well, what's going on with my system today? It's seemingly not wanting to work this week. But yeah, no, it was a really interesting interview, and one of those that we probably could have gone on for an hour and continued to talk to him about everything. But I think he did a really good job about explaining everything he does on, the aspects of movies and TV shows that you don't really realize you have to do to make a movie or a TV show.
Right.
And I liked his story about, when he looked up and there was Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban in his studio in Nashville at the time. So it was a really good, you could find that on our YouTube channel. I'd recommend going and listening about someone who's, young and doing great things.
Yeah, that was my takeaway too. It was in his time in Nashville with an internship when a project he was working on, Nicole Kidman had to come back in and do, I think, what they call ADR, which is dialogue replacement, when they don't get the sound that they want and they have to come back in and recreate it. And And Keith Urban just happened to tag along for the day, so there they were. But he gave shout outs to his mom and dad, who are both educators, of course, Mr. and Miss Parker, and then to Aaron and Ashley Bell for one of the things that I noticed. They said that they didn't settle for mediocrity with him; they pushed him for excellence. And the way that he answered the question about what band taught him, I thought was a very good answer too. And it's kind of made the case for what I've been trying to say over the years, that what band is able to do for you on many different levels. Not that athletics doesn't. I just think that unless you've been through it, you don't quite understand that band is a slightly different animal than your traditional sports teams. And I've done both, so I can kind of speak to the experience of both. So good job, Sam. I enjoyed your conversation with him. While we're kind of talking about advisories and things you need to know about, there's a project going on at the end of the Western Kentucky Parkway, and that being the eastern end, where there will be some lane closures tomorrow night and Thursday night. So probably not a huge inconvenience for you or many of you, but they're going to be doing work on the high friction surface that they are completing on the parkway between I-65 and 31. So just that section where you cross I-65 and you get to the end of the parkway, they're going to be doing some work through there. So if your work routes takes you through there in the nighttime or early morning hours, you might want to be aware of that. A Litchfield man has been arrested for an incident 4 years ago where he's accused of domestic violence, assault for the third time in 5 years, and assaulting a police officer. The sheriff's office arrested 53-year-old Melvin Howell on the strength of an indictment warrant out of Edmonson County, charging Howell with 2 counts of third-degree assault of a police or probation officer, fourth-degree assault, resisting arrest, third-degree is terroristic threatening, menacing, second-degree disorderly conduct, and second-degree persistent felony offender. The 4 assault charges and persistent felony count are felonies. According to the arrest citation, these offenses took place in October of 2021. He was lodged in the Grayson County Detention Center. So that's a long time for an investigation to then return an indictment and an arrest be made. Quick note, we've been telling you the sad story out of Lexington involving the UK student and stunt team member who was involved in the infant's death. She is no longer listed as, she is no longer enrolled at UK. So we hope, I think she's from Tennessee, and hopefully she gets the help and healing. And obviously that's a very stressful and tragic situation. But, young people sometimes, obviously make mistakes that have huge consequences, and she will still be legally responsible for those things, but she's no longer a student at UK. The focus of September's Our Healthy Kentucky Home initiative is obesity, which is a major concern here in Kentucky, and we're going to talk with a couple of health experts about several subjects coming up in the next segment from the Grayson County Health Department. Deanna and Josh will join us next segment. We're looking forward to a conversation with them. Dr. Stephen Stack, who is the health secretary, said that obesity is a complex and costly chronic disease with many contributing factors. He explained that obesity is defined as having a BMI, or body mass index, over 30. People are considered to be overweight if their BMI is between 25 and 30. BMI is a medical screening tool that is a measure of body fat based on height and weight. According to a 2022 risk factor surveillance survey, 38% of Kentucky's adults reported being obese. Another 32% reported that they are overweight, though not obese. Nationally, 1 in 5 children and 2 in 5 adults struggle with obesity, so Kentucky is pacing ahead of the national average on those. And, we obviously know that just the general weight issues, but the chronic and the longevity, the wear and tear on your body and your structure, your skeletal system over a long period of time, on your muscles, your joints, your et cetera, it plays a key. One of the things that Dr. Stack says, too, he says that you don't have to spend money to be active. It doesn't take gym equipment. It doesn't take et cetera. Just be active, move around, exercise. Do that multiple times a week, 30 minutes or so, 3 times a week will make a big difference. And one of the things he encourages is to stay socially engaged in that regard, whether it's a walking buddy or just being accountable to someone. If you went out and walked that day, and log that or share that socially, whatever, to go ahead and just kind of be accountable and try to get on the road to recovery. Speaking of recovery, September is Recovery Awareness Month, and to help mark that, Governor Beshear has certified 6 more counties as recovery-ready communities. He has most recently designated Boyd, Carter, Clay, Greenup, Letcher, Owsley as counties that they are ensuring access to assistance for drug or alcohol addiction for the nearly 153,000 Kentuckians who reside in those parts of the state. The latest announcement by Governor Beshear brings the total number of counties designated as recovery-ready communities to 31, providing residents with access to addiction treatment and recovery support while removing barriers to the workforce. It represents about more than 1.7 million Kentuckians and builds on the progress of 3 straight years of declines in overdose-related deaths in Kentucky, including a 30.2% decrease in 2024. So just 23 to 24, we saw 30-point decrease, which is a huge success. And by the way, if you or a loved one are struggling, here is a number, 833-8KY-HELP, 833-8KY-HELP, as September is Recovery Awareness Month. Secretary of State Michael Adams announced that voter registration grew in August, with Kentuckians registering under other political affiliations outpacing Republican and Democrat registrations combined for the 6th consecutive month, and I don't see that trend changing. With the August results, Republican registration now constitutes 47% of the electorate in Kentucky. It's about 1.58 million voters. Republican registration rose by about 1,500, a 0.9% increase. Democratic registration is 42% of the state registered voters, about 1.4 million voters. It fell by 0.8%. There are 366,000 voters registered under the political affiliation of other, mostly independent, and that's an 11% of the electorate. That jumped by 0.51%. They also removed about 4,600 voters in August. The majority of them were due to deaths in the Commonwealth. Some were felony convictions, some moved out of the state, et cetera, but the biggest majority would be people who have died in recent months. Sam, I heard Ken mention in a roundup this morning, it sounds like both the soccer teams are in action today, but is there anything on the K105 digital sports landscape before football this week? Is it a quiet week for us?
Yeah, no, nothing until football on Friday night when they got Butler County for homecoming. But next week's busy. Next week we got Tuesday, Thursday, and then football on Friday.
Did I see it right? And maybe you don't have the schedule in front of you, but I think the Lady Cougar soccer team, they're at Brownsville tonight, maybe?
Your volleyball.
Volleyball. Okay.
Volleyball is in Brownsville, and the soccer teams, the boys, are hosting Campbellsville tonight.
Oh, yeah, I
so
heard
you get
Campbellsville.
Yep, yeah. So that's, if you want to go out and watch something nice tonight, Cougar soccer team hosts Campbellsville, and then Lady Cougars are down in Brownsville.
Mark Stoops spoke to the media yesterday after going back and watching the Ole Miss tape and fielded several questions, and he had his statewide radio show last night. Sounds like quarterback Cutter Boley could get his first start of the season on when Kentucky closes out a 3-game homestand against Eastern Michigan on Saturday. He played most of the second half after, I don't know if it was most of, but he played a lot of the second half after Calzada left and didn't return in the Wildcats' 30-23 loss to Ole Miss on Saturday. He completed 1 of 3 passes, including a 38-yard strike to Hardley Gilmore. Coach Stoops wouldn't say specifically that he was not Calzada did not practice yesterday, but he did not rule him out. And then he also mentioned on his show last night that if Calzada is not able to go, Boley would get the start. But then he had a lot of confidence in Bo Allen, who is back on the UK roster. He called him kind of a coach on the field because he knows the system, et cetera, serving as a backup. So he felt okay going into the Eastern Michigan game, which is a night game at Kroger Field, 6:30 Central kickoff. And that means countdown will start at 4:30 on Friday evening. So there you go. Some of your headlines for the morning. Hopefully you're all caught up. We're looking forward to a conversation with Josh Horton and Deanna Wilson from the Grayson County Health Department. The community baby shower is coming up later on this week. We'll tell you why that should be important to you. And, of course, anytime you get in toward the fall and winter of the year, that signals a change in health levels and illness and colds and flus, etc. So we'll prepare you for that as well. Hang around here on In the Know.
At Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield, Dr. Priyank Chauhan provides compassionate care for adults and seniors. Board certified in internal and geriatric medicine, he's dedicated to managing chronic conditions, preserving independence, and enhancing the quality of life. Proudly serving Grayson County because your health matters. Schedule today. Call Owensboro Health Family Medicine in Litchfield at 270-259-8888.
Expecting a baby or have a little one under a year old? Join us for the annual Community Baby Shower, Thursday, September 11th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Center on Main in Litchfield. You'll meet local vendors and community partners, get expert answers to your parenting questions, enjoy door prizes, education, resources, and free goodies, all at no cost to you. Don't miss it, September 11th at the Center on Main from 5 to 7. Brought to you by your local health department, where we are working today for a healthier tomorrow.
Discover the power of peace with Blanton Electric's Generac automatic standby generators. Tailored for those who refuse to be left in the dark, these generators promise unmatched reliability when the power grid fails. Enjoy flexible financing options and the assurance of seamless energy. And with Blanton Electric, you receive more than just power. You get Troy's expertise and a free quote, serving Grayson County and beyond with Generac generators. Call 270-723-0838 or visit BlantonElectricINC.com.
Ugh, my storage is full. I have to delete some photos. Don't need these. Our holiday world trip?
You can't delete those.
The one of Mom's hair after riding Thunderbird?
My hair? Remember Zach's blue ice cream face?
No, I'm keeping these forever.
At Holiday World and Splash and Safari, we can't free up your phone storage, but we do have free soft drinks, parking, and sunscreen. Time to make room for the good stuff. Visit holidayworld.com.
At the Kentucky Higher Education Student Loan Corporation, we understand that grants and scholarships don't always cover the full cost of education. Our Advantage Parent Loans with fixed interest rates are designed to help parents fill the funding gap without worrying about hidden costs or surprise fees. As a nonprofit lender, we're committed to keeping your focus where it belongs, on your family. Advantage Education Loans is managed by Key Slick. Visit KentuckyAdvantageLoan.com or call 800-988-6333 to learn more. This message is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education, close to home, at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start October 20th. Visit elizabeth.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
OpenAI is developing a hiring platform connecting businesses with employees that is expected to rival LinkedIn. Matt Mattinson has the story.
The product is called the OpenAI Jobs Platform. The company expects to launch the service by mid-2026. An OpenAI blog post says it will use AI to help find the perfect matches between what companies need and what workers can offer.
Meta's Mark Zuckerberg is being sued by Mark Zuckerberg from Indiana. TechCrunch reports that Mark Zuckerberg from Indiana is a bankruptcy lawyer who advertises his law practice through a Facebook page that he claims has been disabled 5 times in the past 8 years. Meta's systems have been flagging his account as falsely impersonating Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Lawyer Zuckerberg says he's been practicing law since Meta's Zuckerberg was 3 years old. He says he spent over $11,000 advertising on Facebook. In the European Commission, the executive body of the EU, has hit Google with an antitrust fine totaling more than $3 billion. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Today is I Love Food Day. It is Teddy Bear Day. It is Sudoku Day, and it's Wonderful Weirdos Day. And adding to our cast of wonderful weirdos today are our friends from the Grayson County Health Department, Josh Horton and Deanna Wilson. Good morning, friends. Welcome back.
Hello. I knew you were going to tie that into us somehow.
Well, by the way, I said
it is.
We were already the cast of wonderful weirdos. You all just happen to be joining us today. So it is wonderful to see you all, as always. Josh, I know anytime we get back to school or we go through any type of change of season, maybe for everyone, it kind of changes processes, changes our focus, renews us on new things. So as you all turn and head for the fall and the winter and the holiday season, you get very busy, don't you?
Yes, it is our busiest time for clinic as well as for Health Academy, which Deanna will talk about here in a bit. But yeah, we stay busy.
Josh, I read something this morning that kind of reminded me of some of the great conversations that you and I have sort of about, we talk about mental health, we talk about health in general. It came to me that health is very hard by nature to define because it's elusive in ways. There are so many contributing factors to health. Do you have a definition that if someone says, how do you define it? Do you have something that you use to say this is what health is?
I would just say that health is the ability to do what you want to do and what you need to do with little to no infringements. So it can be something as simple as taking a walk, to doing your job. And there's two factors of that. There's both mental and physical. So you have to take care of both those aspects of health. But basically, if I had to sum it up, it's the ability to do what you need to do with little to no infringement. That to me is health. Because when I look at it, Mark, at the opposite, so when I think of maybe unhealthy or someone who has health issues, you think about what? The struggle to maybe walk, a struggle to do certain things. So there's different health factors there. But we really don't think of health as that simple, do we? We think it's more complex.
Yeah.
But it's actually the most basic things that we do each day, from walking to talking to thinking to doing our chores. To me, that's how I would define health.
So the survey that I was reading said that 80% of young adults, 8 in 10 young adults 18 to 30, say that they have anxiety about essential adult responsibilities, or what people commonly call adulting. So things like maybe grocery shopping or operating on a budget or cleanliness, taking care of the home. And these soft skills that we think maybe like homemaking, et cetera, might be something that our friend Natalie works on in family and consumer sciences. But if you don't know how to properly care for your home from a cleanliness standpoint, then your lack of cleanliness contributes to negative environmental applications and situations that then enters the sphere that you all work in. So are soft skills health? I would make a case that they are health.
Mm-hmm. I would too. And Deanna works with students, and she has kids, so she can probably talk more about this. But yeah, I would say it's just like I was saying, the basic things that we need to do or we're expected to do. That you get to a certain age and you become an adult, and people expect you to make your own medical appointments, to eventually move out on your own, like you said, to clean your space, to do all these things. But we are seeing, and Deanna can probably talk more about this, in younger people, there seems to be a gap.
Yeah.
And the ability to do that.
Deanna, when I was growing up, the health department was, shots, it was tests, it was coming and being visible in the school, or maybe doing clinics, et cetera. But now health and community health goes so far beyond injections and tests.
Yeah, we're so much more now. And I think it's because we've realized that need. We realize it's not just physical health. It is your mental health. It's your emotional health. I talk with the kiddos at the middle school a lot about the 5 parts of the whole body, and about how it's important that you're taking care of yourself emotionally, physically, mentally, even spiritually. And that can mean a lot of different things to different people. That can mean taking a walk, that can mean lighting a candle, meditation, whatever. But it's important that we take care of all of those 5 parts of the whole body.
Josh, talk to me about, and one of those things that are branching beyond, injections and tests, et cetera, is the community baby shower, which is coming up on Thursday. So talk about the origins of this and what people can expect.
Well, Deanna's the champ when it comes to talking about this. I just want to give everybody a general invite as the public health director. I think it means something when someone reaches out and gives them an invitation. And so I'm trying to use my platform as the director to say, we would love to see you. If you have a child, or a baby rather, who is 1 year old or younger, we would love for you to come out September the 11th from 5 to 7 at the Center on Main. We've been, Deanna mentioned this yesterday. Yesterday you was on WBKL, right? That we don't exactly know how long they've done the baby shower. No one here knows.
I couldn't figure it out.
We've been doing it for years and years, and it predates my arrival and Deanna's arrival. I just know we've been doing it for years, but the actual details, if you're ready for us to discuss that, Mark, I'll let Deanna chime in on that.
Well, and what I was going to ask Deanna, importantly, was that I hear you've been inviting us for the last month or so. We've been hearing your voice with a personal invitation to the event coming up on Thursday. But one of the key things that I hear you say is you use the phrase free to you. Like there are several things that are available to people who attend that, yes, they might be free to you, but it takes partnerships and collaborations and sponsorships to make all of these resources available. And I know you probably want to speak to the importance of that.
Absolutely. We feel so fortunate this year to be sponsored by Owensboro Health. And this is our first year that we have had a sponsorship for them. They've worked with us for quite some time, but we really appreciate that. And if it wasn't, our other community partners donate their time and their resources, and they come in because, you know, they agree with our mission in this. We unite together to educate these families, and many of them have their different things that they hand out, and then we all come together as departments too to supply things for families. We're really excited because of our partnership with Owensboro Health. This year, we're going to be able to hand out sleep sacks, and that ties into Safe Sleep. And we have breastfeeding essentials, and we have clinic has things that they're giving out. And then our community partners, I don't know exactly what all they're bringing. Sometimes I know and sometimes I don't, but they bring door prizes that they donate. And it's just, it's definitely a group effort. And we love to love our community this way.
Part of your invitation as well is if you're expecting, or I heard you say that if you're postpartum up to about, a year or so?
Yes. If you're expecting, or if you have a baby under 1 year of age. And also, I want to let people know too, this is not maybe you have custody of a baby this year that you maybe you adopted a baby. Maybe you're a grandparent with primary custody. I would just want to let people know that it just doesn't have to be an expecting mom.
I know that. Well, go ahead and give me the details. I got one more thing I want to talk to you about the baby shower, but it's at the Center on Main on Thursday. What are the hours, Deanna?
5 to 7.
5 to 7.
And you can get there anytime within those. You don't have to be there at 5 to participate and to get the education and resources. I mean, we have had a crowd, and our crowd has been sometimes almost doubling every year for the last couple of years. So I do know that the sooner you're there, the more it ensures that maybe you might get those things that we might run out of supplies for. But you can get there anytime between 5 and 7. We'll be set up that entire time.
So pop in, pop out, do it at your convenience. But sometimes the early bird does get the worm, so just be be aware of that. You, much like my wife Deanna, love to convey messages and spread positivity through the T-shirts that you wear. And I can't help but notice that yours says "Safe Sleep Saves Lives." And yes, I know you're a big champion.
Josh has our latest shirt on today too.
Oh, and Josh has it too. Josh was slouching. That was why I couldn't see Josh's. But he's on the Safe Sleep Squad.
I have a big forehead.
Well, talk to me, Deanna, about the ABCs of sleep. I know this is a key component of your mission, also of the baby shower. But in case we're going to miss someone at the shower, it's important to share this information in this format.
It really is. And I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this because I have the shirt. I have shirts. I'm very passionate about spreading this education, and it really is because it does save lives. We like to talk about safe sleep as in the ABCs, or actually ABCD. We've added a D. The ABCs of self-sleep. And do you want me to go ahead and go into them?
Yes, please do. Yeah.
All right. So the A in ABC stands for alone. And that means that we're encouraging you not to co-sleep with your kiddos, that we would like that it's safest if they are in a bassinet or in a crib by themselves. This means not co-sleeping with parents. This means not sleeping with siblings. This means if you have a twin set that you have each of your babies has its own sleep space. And, we can keep them in the room with mom and dad, maybe up to 6 or 12 months or whatever, but we want them to have their own bed. Then the B stands for on their back. And, we've been, I think that message back to sleep, we used to have the back to sleep campaign. And I think that message has went out for some time, but babies still need to be put down on their back. We need to put them, and we need to do all of these things for like the naps. We need to put them down on their back. Even when they reach the age that they're rolling over, just lay them down on their back at night and to nap. And if they roll over, that's fine, but we need to be putting them down on their back. C stands for clean, clear crib. We want to put them in a crib or bassinet, or, if you have like a playpen that they sleep in at night, it needs to have a firm mattress. We only want a fitted sheet on that. If we're going to have these sleep sacks, like you can, the babies have their PJs or to be in a sleep sack, but we don't want blankets. We don't want teddy bears. We don't want bumper pads on the cribs. We don't want anything to run the risk of suffocation for these babies at night. And then I'm at D now, right? A, B, C, D. D stands for danger. And danger, we want to eliminate risk and dangers in our baby's sleeping environment, especially. And this covers a lot of different things. This covers impaired caregivers. Obviously, we don't want a caregiver that's under the influence of drugs or alcohol. But, also mamas get sent home on pain meds sometimes. And we need you to know that, if you're on, or maybe you've had some kind of other health concern, and we need you to know that you need a backup when you're on anything that's going to make you sleepy or drowsy, just so you can best care for baby. And then the other danger that I talk about a lot, and we have our own program for smoking and vaping cessation, is that we know that as expecting moms, they don't need to be smoking or vaping, but also then we don't need that around babies after they get here either. With those, anytime you do any one of these things, smoke or vape or put blankets in or put them on their bellies or co-sleep, any of these things raise the risk of sudden, unexpected infant death. And so if we can eliminate all these things, then we can save a lot of lives.
It's been amazing as a grandparent to watch how many things have changed from raising kids to watching your grandchildren be raised on clean, clear crib, just the types of surfaces, the sleep sacks, etc., that are really driving to try and decrease SIDS. By doing small things, we can make a big difference in saving a lot of infant lives.
We can, and I think, Mark, I believe that a lot of times what I want to say is that I think a lot of times grandparents tend to take that as a criticism, like, oh, well, I put you in there with a blanket. Did I do something wrong? And that's when we, as I like to say, when we know better, we do better.
That's
and
right.
We didn't know that then. We didn't even know all this when my kiddos were babies. But now we know that we can do all these things to help eliminate the risk. And so we want to do that.
Good information. Thanks for sharing. It's always good to learn, good to know. And like you say, when we learn things, we figure out how we got it wrong, and we try and do better. Josh, I know I talked about the season change heading toward the fall. We're already in flu season, or at least in preparing for flu season ahead. Do you have clinics that are up and running or that will be up and running?
Yes, we do. Actually, every year we do our annual flu shot clinics. So those are not by appointment. They're by walk-in only. So Monday through Thursday from 9 to 11 or 1 to 3, you can walk in for your flu vaccine. The last time I checked, we also had the strong dose, is what I call it, for the elderly population, and the regular flu vaccine. Those tend to go quickly though. So if you want to call ahead and just make sure if you're wanting that particular vaccine to make sure that we have it in stock, that's fine. but we're not going to schedule you an appointment. We're just going to have you to come and walk in. So once again, Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11, 1 to 3, and Friday, 9 to 11.
Over the last week, there's been a whole lot of national news with RFK Jr. and the vaccines, et cetera. But I heard someone say this morning, said, talk to your physician, talk to your nurse practitioner, get your information straight from them, make the decision that is best for you based upon your health and your relationship with your provider, not what you're hearing on the news.
Correct. Dr. Lee, everybody knows Dr. Lee. He's a practicing pediatrician in the community for years. He is our medical director. He's been on the board here since the 1970s, he has a legacy of service. I think we all respect Dr. Lee. And that's one of the things he is saying right now. Talk to your medical provider. Listen to what your medical provider is telling you about your vaccine as well as the vaccines that your children require.
My journey is different than your journey and different than Deanna's journey, and that's why you work it out with your provider rather than just following a trend. And if you trust your physician, there's a reason that you're using them, so probably follow their advice. Friends, it's always wonderful to see you. Your baby shower is Thursday, 5 to 7 at the Center on Main, free to the people who attend, correct?
Absolutely.
All right. Wonderful to see you all, Josh and Deanna. We'll catch up with you soon, okay?
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks. Our friends from the Grayson County Health Department. Don't forget the community baby shower is coming up on Thursday from 5 to 7 at the Center on Main. We got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know is coming up here on In the Know.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Make this Christmas unforgettable with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. A fusion of rock and classical with a heartwarming Christmas tale. December 10th, Rupp Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Want to connect your business with thousands of engaged local consumers in one unforgettable evening? Join us at Wine on the River Louisville on October 11th at the Belvedere, a premier tasting event where wine, food, music, and community come together. As a vendor or sponsor, you'll gain valuable exposure, build brand awareness, and create lasting impressions with a crowd that loves to support local. Ready to pour into something big? Visit wineontheriverlou.com to inquire today. That's wineontheriverlou.com.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need a right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone. Now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
We'll keep the sunshine and low humidity through the afternoon with highs today in the upper 70s and the low 80s. For tonight, skies still clear as we fall down into the 50s in most spots. Tomorrow, we keep it sunny, just a little bit warmer though, with highs in the mid 80s for more of us. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by our friends at ECTC's Litchfield campus. It's affordable, it's college for the real world, and it's right here at home. Their next onboarding opportunity is, I think, the third week of October, so you got a chance to get your FAFSA, get your financial aid, get your schedule worked out, and get ready for the next 8-week Advantage course, which begins in October with our friends at ECTC's Litchfield campus, college for the real world, where they ask, did you know that every odd number has an E in it? 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. They all have an E in them. I don't know if that's by design or why that is, but Sam looks like he didn't know that.
Doesn't every... What was it again?
All odd numbers.
All odd numbers have an E in them.
Oh, okay. Now I know. I thought for a second I thought you said a vowel. I was like, every number has a vowel in it.
No,
okay.
An E.
Okay.
And in the case of like the number 11, it has 3. So there you go. Good news. Let's not talk about. We were going to talk about Little Debbie snack cakes, but it's not time for snack talk. Let's see. It's not time for that either. Oh, it is time for.
Why is it not snack time?
I know, right?
Well, we don't talk about snacks in segment
I'm
C.
craving
because
cosmic brownies.
Because why?
Because I said so. Because it's the format that we follow.
Wow.
We can't have complete and total anarchy. I mean, we can't be willy nilly. I mean, we're trying to get nominated again for a big major award. So I've been.
Yeah, we did apparently slack this past year, right?
I've been lacking, so I have to do better. I have not been to the Sphere in Las Vegas. In fact, I don't know that we've been to Las Vegas since the Sphere opened. I think they were building it still the last time. But it's an amazing structure. And if you hear people who have been to shows there, it's quite an experience. But one of the things that they're doing, and I saw a piece on the news about this, that I would like to go and see, they are showing The Wizard of Oz, and it is an augmented film experience. And what they've had to do is they've had to use, okay, if you take the original format of the way The Wizard of Oz was shot, and then when you blow it up into the widescreen format, the lens sees things that the narrow shot didn't if you follow the movement of the... Look, okay, here's the example. If Dorothy and Auntie M are sitting at the table and you have one guy standing behind them, but then the uncle walks up to the table. Well, now from a wider perspective, do you see the uncle walking through the shot up to the table? He can't just suddenly appear mid-room out of thin air. So because of the format that it's being shown in, they've had to use AI to go in and repopulate and kind of reimagine the way these classic scenes look. They are also using the Sphere that when the tornado comes through, the wind, churns inside the Sphere and there's debris like confetti flowing, etc. And I think it's going to be a really neat, it's almost like the experience that Walt Disney was trying to create in several places, but technology and augmented reality have finally arrived at a level that you can truly provide an immersive experience in the middle of this. So while I would like to see, name the artist, while I like to see Aerosmith or whatever at the Sphere, I think seeing something like this is going to be truly remarkable.
Like, I'm so excited it's The Wizard of Oz and not some other random musical of some sort.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That's
of
exciting
course.
to me.
Yeah, it's
Wizard
super-
of Oz, yay. I'm on board
Classic.
with that one.
I think they're charging, and it says that it could run forever. Like this could be the show that they constantly. They'll do shows in the evenings, of course, of concerts and other special events. But this could be always running, so that when you go to Vegas, you can go see it. I think it says something like maybe fans are paying about $200 a ticket to go see it. So it better be a good
Wow.
experience. Sandman, Adam Sandler, it's on his birthday, spoiler alert. I'll mention that again later on in the show. He is kicking off a tour with, I'm not surprised he's touring with Kevin James. That doesn't come as a surprise at all. But he is touring with Vanilla Ice,
Okay.
Kevin James, and a Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And one of the reasons is because Vanilla Ice was in he had a cameo in one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But this doesn't seem. He's coming to Lexington if you want to find out what it's all about. October the 16th, he'll be at Rupp Arena. He'll be in St. Louis on the 17th. He's finishing up Halloween night, and November 1st, he'll be in Las Vegas at the Fontainebleau, Las Vegas, which seems like an odd venue for the Sandman. Sandman got his start. He got his start on MTV on Remote Control with Colin Quinn. He played, he was always wearing that silk robe thing, and he had his weird chain on, etc. Well, then he landed on SNL, which is where he was catapulted into fame. Speaking of SNL, apparently a lot of people were holding on just to be around for season 50 because there's been a pretty big shakeup. Heidi Gardner's gone, Devin Walker is gone, but Keenan is still around. They're keeping Chloe Fineman. They're keeping Bowen Yang. Mikey Day is still around. Michael Che is still around. Then they've got Andrew Dismukes is back. Marcelo Hernandez, which, by the way, Marcelo Hernandez, I think the biggest laugh that I saw you get from Happy Gilmore 2 might have been when they were trying to hit Marcellus Hernandez with the golf ball when he was running on the driving range and they were all practicing trying to hit him.
Yeah.
That's him from Saturday Night Live. Anyway, I noticed you were particularly amused at that scene for whatever reason. He's back. James Austin Johnson, who plays Trump and does a really good job with it, he's back. Sarah Sherman is back, etc. So anyway, the season 51 cast for SNL is set up. Ed Sheeran and his family are moving to the United States. He says, we're going and settling there. He said, I'm just about to move to America, which bodes the question, is the United States big enough? I would advocate for Hartford.
I think maybe Old Yukon has a house right next door to him.
I'm just kind of curious to know, is the United States big enough for Dennis Cook and Ed Sheeran? I'm not sure.
I mean, has anybody seen them in the same spot?
Do you like Ed Sheeran?
I really like Beaver Dam.
Oh, you
Can we
like
not
Beaver
move
Dam?
him there?
Well, what's wrong with Ed Sheeran? He's a big ketchup fan. He loves ketchup. So does Yukon
It would
Cornelius.
create traffic.
That's true. It might.
I like it there.
There's already traffic there from Dennis, right?
Well,
if you go by his birthplace, there's always traffic backed up there so people can take pictures with his birthplace. Sam, I know you're a big fan of The Office. Have you seen any of the paper?
I don't have Peacock, so no.
Okay. Will you at some point?
When maybe in the spring when things die down again?
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask is there are, and I'm not going to spoil them, but there are Easter eggs in the first episodes of the paper that are a tip of the cap to The Office.
And see, I haven't talked to anybody that's seen it because I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it at all. I haven't seen it either, but I have been spoiled. I know the Easter eggs that I'm looking for.
Yeah, I saw a video of one of them of I think it was of a character making a return and kind of explaining what happened to Dunder Mifflin and all of that. But other than that, I hadn't seen anything else. Is that one of the Easter eggs you're discussing?
It is, and one of the smallest. The
and that character did not look good.
Is to learn that Vance Refrigeration is still around. That's kind of
that's who the character is. Yeah,
it is. Okay, yeah,
that's the character I'm talking about. It's Bob Vance, and he's the years have not been too good to old Bob.
Refrigeration is tough. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Evil is like a fire. It'll consume everything if you let it. To stop evil, we have two options: flee it or confront it. In the summer of 1949, firefighter Wag Dodge and a crew of smoke jumpers battled a wildfire in Man Gulch, Montana. Without warning, the situation turned deadly. The flame shifted direction and trapped the firefighters. Many of the men panicked and ran for the ridge, but Dodge knew they'd never make it in time. So he started an escape fire. He lit a small area of grass on fire, then lay down in the center of the charred ground and covered his face. Within seconds, the wildfire raced up the mountain and consumed everything around him. But his life was spared. The 12 men who tried to outrun the fire were tragically killed. Evil spreads like wildfire. We can't outrun it. It must be confronted. But confronting evil doesn't always mean charging in with force. It requires wisdom. We defeat evil by denying the fuel it needs to spread. Evil thrives on fear, silence, and apathy. When we expose lies with truth, counter hatred with grace, and stand firm for what's right, we take away evil's power to spread. Evil doesn't flee on its own. It must be driven away. Wise, prayerful action strips evil of its power and allows good things to flourish. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten.
Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
He said, I want to see you again, but I'm stuck in colder weather.
EMP's point to ponder for today. What is the most rewatchable TV series of all time other than Friends?
You ain't ever gonna change. You gotta
I kind of want her to have to answer now. Make her have to pick another one.
I figured she would go to Seinfeld, which is where I went. I had several.
What about other than Seinfeld then for you, since you're not going to let her pick her favorite?
I thought of MASH. I've watched MASH multiple times. The Sopranos is fun to rewatch. It's a good series to rewatch. I've heard people say Breaking Bad is one. I've never watched it, but they say that's
came to mind.
Very rewatchable. Or any
See,
others?
I don't know how many dramas or shows like that I classify as rewatch. To me, rewatches are like comedies and so on.
I agree with that, but the other two that came to mind were Bones and House. Really,
House is good.
House is great, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you have a comment, Jock, on Facebook. He says Andy Griffith.
I thought
That's
of
a good
Andy
one.
Griffith this morning when I was pondering it. That's an excellent, and that one escaped me. That's one that just, there's humor involved, there's life lessons involved. I think everything you need to know about life, you can probably learn from the Andy Griffith Show. Well, 80% of what you need to know about life.
Current, I mean, Bluey is probably at the top of our list for the last, I don't know.
Bluey has proven to be
years.
very rewatchable,
Yes.
without a doubt.
Oh, NCIS. That's a good
NCIS is another one.
There's a lot of content. The other thing I was thinking about, on Amazon Prime, I think you can buy the other seasons, which I won't do, but they rolled out the second season of Dallas. And so I got to watching it one evening, and I really enjoyed it because, television has changed so much. The dialogue is so much faster than it used to be.
Okay.
The hairdos, the dramatic camera shots and cuts, and the tense music, etc. It's just really fun to watch. I would like to go back and watch all of the episodes of The Love Boat.
I've heard that.
When we were in Fort Lauderdale, we saw a Princess cruise ship that actually the horn when it is the Love Boat.
I still cannot get over the fact when I walk through and there's all this pink on the screen.
Oh, on on Acapulco. That's
Yes.
Las Colinas. That's on
He
Apple
did-
TV Plus.
I walked by and I asked him initially. I'm like, "Are you watching Barbie? Like, the movie?
The
It's
lead-
just all pink."
The lead character does look like an aging Barbie, without a doubt.
I'm like,
America's Got Talent quarterfinals on NBC tonight. Songs and Stories with Kelly Clarkson on NBC tonight. It's the season 1 finale, and she's featuring Lizzo. And on Hulu, season 5 premiere of Only Murders in the Building. If that's
I've heard
your
that's
jam.
really good. I've heard that's really good. I've never seen it.
Caught up.
You need to get caught
I
up.
need to in a major
Because isn't
way.
it like Steve Martin in that? Like that's got a pretty good
Yes.
cast, isn't
It's
it?
a really good cast. Yes.
D. Martin Short is Madeline O'Hara in it?
Demi Lovato.
Zach Galifianakis, maybe.
Is he in it? Interesting.
Yeah, he was the. Yeah, I can't say that part.
Today's highlight in history.
He was
this day-
something, I guess. I just saw a clip from it one time, and he was in it.
In 1971, the prisoners of Attica seized control and went on. Maybe you've seen the movie. Dee Dee Sharp is 80. Joe Theismann is 76. Hugh Grant is 65. Sandman, Adam Sandler is 59 today. Eric Stonestreet is 54. Henry Thomas is 54. Goran Visnich is 53. Michael Bublé is 50. Hunter Hayes is 34. Gone but not forgotten. 1890, Colonel Harlan Sanders was born. Esther Cleveland, which was the first child of a U.S. president to be born at the White House, was born this date in 1893. And Otis Redding was born this date in 1941. We're short on time for chart toppers today, so much to Sam's chagrin.
Well, I mean, you mentioned Eric Stonestreet. I mean, Modern Family definitely can go into the realm of rewatching.
Oh
It
no,
definitely
because he is hilarious in that show.
He's good. He's good in most things he does. 1970, Chicago was number one with 25 or 6 to 4.
25 or 6 to 4.
It's a good marching band song.
Yes, it was a good. We play that in Pep Band a whole lot. This is how I got introduced to it. In fact,
I think I even did a
1979.
jazz version of it in jazz band.
Kind of jazzy. Earth, Wind, and Fire. After the Love Has Gone. I always tell you about, the tragedy at the Who concert in Cincinnati. The episode of WKRP, which talks about which covers that, instead of their traditional closing, they used this song because it was kind of soft and more reverent when they were talking about the people that got killed at the Who concert. Let's go to 1988.
This was a Pep Band song we played as well.
This one's too new for our Pep Band to play. We weren't playing currents. But I always think now of this song. I think of Step Brothers when Adam Scott and his family are in their Land Rover and they're singing it.
You're flat. You're flat.
Yeah, you're flat. You're flat. I don't know why. I mean, that's a pretty powerful scene if you take one of the most popular guitar riffs of all time and makes you think of a movie.
I got to save it now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Two Become One, Spice Girls, number one in 97. All right, let's get a couple more because there's
you started off strong.
Couple of good ones. I eliminated the 40s and 50s and 60s. The Wreckers in 06. Lead the Pieces.
You started off so strong and now you're taking a major dip.
Oh, Sam, the Wreckers are good. Have you ever seen the Wreckers, Sam? I think you'd like them if you got a good look at them.
No. I don't think I know what they are.
I think a simple Google
Well,
will
it's
tell you
what
all
I'm-
you need to know.
The Wreckers.
Type.
Female sister duo. Just saying.
I clicked.
And in a year ago today, Sabrina Carpenter, number one. With Please, Please, Please.
Oh, I'm asking, baby.
Sam, did you look up the Wreckers?
I just did. I mean, I don't think it changes my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be. Never mind.
Okay, suit yourself. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says to be yourself.
They're a little too old for me now.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG Litchfield, the Twin Lakes Best Mix.